Hey everybody, Ben here from DMC Films, and I'm back with more tips for the first-time painter. Now, one of the most important things you can do with a brush, besides just painting with it, is to clean it. You gotta make sure your brushes are clean so they're reusable, you can keep using them down the road, and in a lot of cases brushes can last you several years, if not even longer. So I've got a brush here, and it's completely coated in black paint. It's got the paint's all the way down the bristles and up onto the metal ferrule a little bit as well. And this is generally pretty much the most caked a brush could be when it's covered in paint. So one of the most important things to do is to clean it out thoroughly and get yourself a nice soap to rinse it out with. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I use acrylic paint and not oils. If you're using oils, a lot of times you have to use solvents, things like turpentine, terpenoid, or maybe like mineral spirits to really get the oil out of your brush. Now, you can use certain kinds of soap for oils as well, and they do work, but again, to really get the bristles clean, you need a good soap for acrylics and some sort of a solvent for oils. Now, the soap that I use is yellow Fel's Naphtha laundry soap. The reason I go for this stuff because it really cleans the bristles out real well. It dissolves any kind of pigments that are inside of the brush, and generally leaves the brush really nice and clean. Now, you can use regular white soap that you use to wash your body with in the shower, and it works just fine. The reason I like this stuff because it has a little more of a slippery tendency, and it's really great for rubbing off the paint in the brush. Now, soaps you want to avoid using is anything with like bleach, heavy solvent cleaners, things like Mr. Clean or 401, stuff you really wouldn't use to wash anything that you might eat. Not that you eat your paintbrushes, but you get the idea. You also want to avoid anything that has any kind of any abrasive to it, something like this that has pumice gel in it, and it's gonna really create grits, and that'll stay in the brush and it won't rinse out. Now, in the process of cleaning your brush, you want to be sure to use warm water, and in using warm water you can be sure that all the little bits and paints and particles will dissolve and melt pretty much right out of the brush. Now, I forgot to hit record just a second ago, so you didn't see the paint washing out of the brush, and for the sake of sound you don't want to have the water running. But when you're cleaning out your brush, kind of tap it into the sink very lightly, kind of like you would be applying paint to the brush while on a palette, just sort of pulling up the paint. In this case, you're just pulling up the water to clean out the brush. A good rule of thumb to know exactly how much paint is out of the brush is just to kind of watch the color of the water. Now, right here, so see the color of the water seems to be pretty clear, and you think, okay, maybe I got all the paint out of the brush. The problem is you really need to use soap at this point to just be sure you have all the little paint particles out. So we're going to grab our soap, and again, kind of like just pulling paint into the brush, you're just going to pull some soap into the brush. And to apply the soap in, you just kind of rub it between your fingers. A little more water. And we have a clean brush. Now, luckily I'm in a place where I have a nice laundry tub, and I'm able to kind of fling off the rest of that water down into the tub, or give it a little tap on the side. That way we're sure that all the remaining water is out of the brush. Now, when storing the brush, you want to be sure that you store it upright. That way the bristles get a chance to dry. If you're storing it down, the bristles will kind of be scrunched a little bit, and they'll actually dry in that position, which will completely change the shape of your brush in the long run. Now, whether you're using a small brush or a much larger one, the cleaning technique is exactly the same. You want to push out as much paint as you can, rinsing with warm water. Apply soap, much like you would paint, and then again, rinse it out, rubbing between your fingers. Keeping a paintbrush clean and nice is great for your wallet and even great for your palette down the road. Now, when your brushes do tend to get old, they do tend to change a little bit. This brush used to be much longer. It also didn't used to be as stiff as it is now. But the applications change, and the brushes become even more versatile than they were originally. So for more tips, tutorials, and other videos, please stay tuned to the DMC Films channel here on YouTube. This is Ben. See you guys next time.